all right, ladies and gentlemen. Seems that Survivor Series 2025 is now over, and I just want to give my reactions to most of the results of this premium live event. And I must say, I am thoroughly disappointed. With only 4 matches, it seems that this event failed to deliver what is expected of the War Games stipulation. Yes, War Game stipulation. I'm disappointed at what happened. So let's get through it. The first one that I've noticed on this event is that there is the lack of the shark cages. You see, the WWE Survivor Series War Games format, there were shark cages in the past that would hold all the members, and one by one they come out of those shark cages when it's their turn to go inside the main cage, which encompasses 2 rings. Okay. So I think this is a negative on my personal opinion. It's because the shark cages adds drama to the mix. Without the shark cages, there is no sense of urgency, the sense of escalation, or even like when you watch the first ever Survivor Series War Games in 2022 when Roman decided for Sami Zayn to go next into the match instead of Jimmy Uso. You get what I'm talking about. There's no tension that is being displayed. It all ended up as like a Royal Rumble type of affair where you're gonna ask yourself who is going next. And I believe that that thing works for the Royal Rumble because you don't know who's coming and there are 30 participants. And here at War Games, if you do that format, it doesn't work because you all know who are the participants. So you might as well show all of them inside the cage and then make some great camera work where each team strategize, you know, while their other members are combating inside the War Games cage. So after the first match of the premium live event, it's the women's War Games match. I got to uh, I got to say this women's War Games match isn't really it, brother. There was an AJ Lee in this team up, but I've seen barely any action from her. Sure, she made Becca Lynch tap out for her team to win, but there is the lack of spots. Okay? I think the only high point of this match is when Charlotte saved Rhea Ripley. And yeah, because that is the story that they're building up. Can Rhea Ripley coexist with Charlotte? And it is not such a strong foundation for this to carry the whole War Games match. It worked at the Bloodline War Games matches, especially Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, because it has been building up like for months. Okay, like there's a sense of tension between them. Here, the story was, can Charlotte coexist with Rhea? Charlotte left the team. She rejoined the team. It is in the span of around 2 weeks, and then they played it up at SmackDown that they're united. They got beaten up, and then here comes the War Games, and then they reset the storyline again with Charlotte trusting Rhea. It's same old, same old. Also, this is the most sloppy performance from Io Sky as of late in War Games. She has been in all War Games matches, and she is very sloppy here. It's not like of Io Sky to be this sloppy, especially her trash can spot, which is almost as expected because it always happens every year. And this trash can spot, the ladies from the opposing team are just standing there, waiting for them to catch Io Sky. What was good about the trash can spot is that no matter what your team is, if you're with Io or not, if Io jumps with her trash can, its friendly fire is counted. You know, there's always friendly fire. Like her teammates are also caught along the impact. Here we got three women. Io Sky just jump off, they catch it, it's all, and then it's done. Yeah. And let me talk about Lash Legend. She came out with zero pop. Like, yeah. I'm not following WWE recently, but I remember Naya has either Tiffany Stratton or Candice LeRae on her side. So what the heck happened to Candice LeRae? I know TP Time cashed in on Naya to become the women's champion. Shocker. But and she's injured, so Jade is now the women's champion. But what happened to Candice LeRae? You know, is that alliance got dropped all of a sudden? Why Lash Legend? Okay, if I would have rebooked this match, I would have, let's see, the the face women's team is AJ Lee, Charlotte and Alexa, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Yeah, quite frankly, I would have I would have removed AJ Lee into that matchup. You know, I would have some other woman like Maxine Dupree, who has been feuding with Becky Lynch. I know that AJ screwed Becky Lynch out of the Intercontinental Championship, but I think Maxine needs the spotlight more than AJ. So I would have replaced Maxine over AJ. I think it's because WWE nowadays wants the ooh and the ahs rather than making the booking sense. And then the women's war games heel team, I would have replaced Lash Legend with, I don't know, Jade Cargill. Why is she off the card? She's your women's heavyweight champion. Why is she off the card? You know, you got both men's champions in showcase in war games. Why not the women? Doesn't. I think the right team won. By the way, the face women's team. That's how I saw through it. And sure, why not? The next one is Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena. This is an over. This match is way too overbooked. Like there's a run in there's a fake injury from Dominic, and then for some reason Raquel Rodriguez chokeslam John Cena, and little girl Roxanne Perez hit the pop rocks on John Cena. Like where she could have gotten that strength. I know John Cena. I know executing the pop rocks needs you to jump. It's like a Canadian destroyer. You have to have both wrestlers in sync to make the move work. But if you're going to look through the smoke and mirrors, there's no way that little girl Roxanne could have pop rocks John Cena. And I think they're making Raquel like China. She chokes up John Cena for some reason. I think yeah, I think That part made John Cena look weak, and then Dom hit a frog splash. Referee refused to count, and then the match went on. And then there's another run in by the Judgment Day. It's Finn Balor and what's his name? JD McDonald's double AA. Dom hit another frog splash again. John Cena kick out. And then there's another run in. Liv Morgan returns. Liv Morgan attacks Dominic. Liv Morgan hugs John Cena. John Cena is like looking through his wipe and very nervous. And then attacks John Cena. Dominic frog splash. After three frog splashes, new Intercontinental Champion. And they're doing this a lot lately. They're doing this a lot. They're doing this run in after run in after run in after the success of WrestleMania 40, and it's getting really old, and it's making some matches too way overbooked. And now we're at the risk of seeing John Cena versus Jey Uso in Saturday night's main event. Okay, third match, Stephanie Baker and versus Nikki Bella. Never cared for this. I always know Stephanie will win this match. And the best spot here is Devil's Kiss on the table and in the ring. Don't know, don't care. Okay, men's War Games match. Uh, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and the Usos versus a better version of Lesnar's 2003 Survivor Series team with Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. He's not the sweaty guy there. He's the only non-sweaty guy there. Uh, Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. First of all, why is Brock Lesnar teaming up with Drew McIntyre? And why? Just why? There's no continuity. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, they barely interacted during the match. You know, they barely interacted. Brock barely interacted with his teammates during the match. He's just like, yeah, he's just like there, you know. He's just like existing there, destroying stuff. Brock found a loophole regarding the forfeit stipulation that if you leave the cage, you forfeit the match. But since the match technically hasn't started because all of the combatants are not yet in the ring, Brock left the cage and attacked Roman F5 him through the announcer's table. Roman speared Brock while Brock is carrying Jey Uso through the table. That's another high spot. That's another spot that I can recall. But for now, it's really been forgettable. You know, it's I forgot most of the spots that have been done. It sure there is the stipulation. The heels have the stipulation. There was the brass knuckles, but it only lasted for a short while when Roman speared Logan Paul to retrieve the knuckles, and he did the Superman punches, and then for some reason he loses the brass knuckles. The conclusion came when Punk hits Logan Paul with the GTS, I think, tries to pin him, and then some hooded guy entered the ring and attacks CM Punk. Super kick and then a stomp. We're lead to believe that this is Seth Rollins. I mean, it could be Seth Rollins, even though he got surgery. When I say it could be Seth Rollins, it could be some other dude playing the role of Seth Rollins, and then the reveal will be Seth Rollins later on. But other than that, people are speculating to be it's Austin Theory. And then camera then the match is over. Uh Rhodes, Punk, and Reigns got into a stand up, and then Roman said to Cody this is the last time they will ever team up. And yeah. Then the heels have their pyrotechnics, and then Survivor Series is over. Look, I was waiting for Chris Jericho to return, but there's nothing. Yeah. It was I think it is the worst of the war games. It is the worst of the war games. If I would rank the men's war games from 2002 to now, that would be number one would be the Judgment Day War Games match where Punk returned. I think that is way better than the 2002 one, which comes into my second place. And then the 2024 one is number three, and then the fourth one is this one. Yeah, that's how bad. I think it's bad. There's lack of surprises. The lack of cages hurt it, and Lash Legend. Lash Legend.